Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really appreciate that. I hope that you guys are about ready to have the most chill Friday night ever. You feel me? And that you stumbled upon the channel, and now you're like, who's this dude? Why is he talking about nothing? Why is the lighting so bad? Is his skin really that color? Is my nose really this big? Do I have white hair? How old am I? You know, I don't know, lots of questions, so much time for many answers. I'm just a 36-year-old guy who does often sit behind his desk instead of stand up because I prefer sitting over standing. And regardless, 4 streams a day. Tell somebody about the channel. I really appreciate it. And we talk about nothing, absolutely nothing. And I have nothing for anybody other than vlogs about nothing, you know? And also, at some point, fair game, I do want to invest all the money that we ever make from this channel right into growing the channel. So, that's also a goal of mine. Some seek to make millions. I seek to give out billions. Because I myself, yeah, anyways, thanks for joining the channel. Listen, tonight I want to talk about something that's pretty near and dear to me, and it's the difference between life in 20s versus life in your 30s. Okay, so hear me out, and specifically as it concerns weekends. And I see the memes all the time. I'm not one of those mid 30-year-old people who are currently going through my first existential life crisis and are I've already had two or three. I'm kind of just trying to chill away from that or whatever. But um been there, kind of done that. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh my God, I'm getting so old and my back hurts, because, like, I don't feel like that. And two, I just, you are how you say you are. And that's not how I feel. So I don't feel like I'm super, super old yet. Thank goodness. I did and I do always find hair in the most disturbing of places on my body now, and it really drives me crazy. So, for example, the other day I found more hair on my ear, and at this point, I'm freaking out about just like growing up and hair and getting old, and it's like a whole thing. So yeah, and that's not an existential life crisis. That's happening in real time. It's like I wake up the next day and I notice something about me that just makes me look that much older. And so, regardless, weekends in your 20s are sort of very sociable. And if not, get out there and socialize, while you're in your 20s. Because while I currently understand that Gen Z is experiencing the loneliest of all epidemics as it concerns generational growth in their peer group, you feel me? Like, switch the tides on that, go out, go club, go have fun, put your phone down. Being in your 20s is magical. I mean, seriously, I had fun in my 20s, most definitely. There's not a thing that I can say I wanted to do and didn't do in my 20s. Very, very good part of my life. You feel me? I mean, I'm out on my own, traveling, I'm seeing and meeting people. Like, yeah, my 20s were very enjoyable. And on the weekends, I was with friends. I was out. I was, a part of the scene. I was like interacting with people. I was traveling. And now in my 30s, I find the most peace, happiness, and solace just kind of chilling. And it's weird because in my 20s, I also experienced a time of which I was on my own. And by on my own, I mean, y'all should try spending, 9 months to yourself, all by yourself, voluntarily, and that's something that I've done. Like, I've gone 9 months in my 20s without having talked to anybody. And that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's because it's tough, one, to not talk to people, and then two, if you're already social, and two, it's such a growing experience. You do a lot of things in your 20s that get you ready for your 30s, which is, again, either your first divorce and or, finding out that the wife and or husband's cheating on you. These terrible things that seem to happen to people in their 30s. Or, you can just kind of be that person that, is opposite of that. And I have, I've never been married. I have no girlfriend. I mean, yeah, the coin can go both ways. And you can't always get your cake and eat it too. I mean, trust me. Anyways, being in your 30s and living on the weekends is different again because you have different things going on in your life. It could also be different in that you're just starting to kind of go back out again. If you didn't do the things in your 20s, you should have done when you were in your 20s. And I say that because trying to do the things you should have done in your 20s and your 30s is like, it's not weird. It's just, it takes a little bit of getting used to and getting to know somebody. Point in fact, 36-year-old middle-aged millennial starting a YouTube channel as sort of a final last-ditch effort to feel like he's ever had any kind of meaning in a world where it's sort of just been like really sort of just this mundane, dreadful sort of drudgery. You feel me? Yes. It's just sort of like, I think that being in your 20s and being in your 30s changes as tech changes and as the culture changes, but there's some behavior that never changes. And I feel like our 20s are a time of our life where we get to experience all of the things at the youngest possible of ages that we can do before we're, forced into growing up into a person. Obviously, sometimes I can honestly say that, and people can agree with me, that they probably didn't want to be. You know what I mean? Again, point in fact, look at the single unmarried guy. Like, I mean, in terms of just like, yeah, we all make sacrifices. Trust me, I know. And some of those sacrifices are worth it. Some of them are absolutely not, and you wish that you could take some of your actions back, and this is a part also of being a grown up in your 30s and recognizing that, when you were in your 20s, you behaved a lot more like a Richard, and then, kind of full circle, things have come around in your life to a point of which you are not just forced to try to do something with your life, but like if you don't, like you've lost all sort of meaning in what kind of path you want to take moving forward. And again, if I feel this way, it's important because it's an indicator and warning and a red flag, so that when young people 10 years my age now are in, we're 2034, like we got to talk about the things that we talk about on the channel, which is nothing, I understand, but we talk about universal basic income, universal health care, the fact that I'm a social capitalist, all of these larger conceptual ideas that I feel like I would not have been heard if I was in my 20s, so in my 30s now, I'm finding out that there's a platform that I can get to know people on, and I mean, more importantly, like, y'all can get to know me, because that's kind of like, this channel is about nothing, but ultimately, the star of the show is me in terms of all of this content, you feel me? And that's both weird and cool in that, like, I'm trying to build something with y'all. You feel me? I like, there will be a time when there are hundreds of thousands of people watching this vlog about nothing, and I can't say that anymore. I mean, I'd be happy to rewind back to this moment a few months from now, I mean, it will be done. It shall be done, says the butler on Hell's Kitchen, seasons 12 through like 18, I think. Regardless, not Jean-Pierre. Who I liked, by the way. I really liked Jean-Pierre. But anyways, I hope that you guys have a really good night. Understand that, if you're a Gen Zer and you're in your 20s, you are going to be in your 30s soon. So enjoy the time that you have being in your 20s, seriously, as much as you can. Because it won't come around again, and unlike high school in your senior year, you got a whole decade to work with in your 20s to sort of become the person that you want to ultimately be. And trust me, I know that, because at the end of my 20s, I have absolutely amounted to, nothing as it would be on paper. And so here I am, working with what I have, which is knowing that I have fun the best of times and I'm the best at nothing. And I think that's really cool. I'm really happy that I've stumbled upon that in my life. It completes me, 4 streams a day. If you didn't already know, tell somebody about the channel. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that you guys have a lovely Friday night, okay? Bye.